JCA meeting to order.
Oh, it's actually the Pen 2 meeting, so
we're not doing the JCA first?
There is actually no need for the JCA to meet this month, thankfully.
Let's call the Pen 2 meeting to order then. Do we need a roll call?
I can do a roll call for you.
Thank you.
Karen Myers.
Here.
Mary Helen Kincaid.
Here. Has anybody sent Eric a text?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Feel free to as well. Kathy Kellen.
Here.
Val Humble.
Present.
Eric Molander is not present.
And if the board prefers to wait, of course, it's up to you. I just want to be really clear. We're happy to, we do have a hard end because of format. But it's really up to your pleasure how you'd like to proceed.
So the first thing, if you'd like to proceed, the first thing on the agenda is the contract with Business Oregon.
It seems to me that's not going to be controversial, and we could go ahead and proceed with that.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, Pen 2 board. I'm McKenna Bell on the engineering team here today to talk to you about the State of Oregon grant contract that we have for you in your packet related to the 13th Avenue Pump Station Discharge Lines project. So for the remainder of this project, we're estimated to spend about $1.3 million between the second half of this fiscal year and then into the first half of the next fiscal year. And as you know, the state of Oregon awarded us $720,000 in grant funds to support this construction. So the contract for that grant is in your packet along with a resolution to approve it. And yeah, we're going to be starting procurement for a contractor in the fall, and then construction would be starting next June. So yeah, if anyone has any questions on that, otherwise I think we need a motion for the to approve the resolution and the contract for the grant.
Well, correct me if my language is wrong, but I move that we adopt resolution 2023-07 1, is it?
Yes.
Accepting the grant offer.
I'll second that. I'll second it.
The bells are tolling. I'm not sure what that means, but it's fortuitous no matter what.
So is there any further discussion?
Eric's on his way. I just talked to him. Sorry, that wasn't discussion, but it was just get you up to date with where we are.
Shall we do a roll call vote, Karen?
I vote aye.
And Mary Helen Kincaid.
Aye.
Kathy Kellen.
Aye.
Val Humble.
Aye.
4 ayes, the motion carries.
Just a little commentary on the state's support. I'm here in Seattle at the National Association of Flood and Stormwater Management Agencies annual meeting. And when I share stories about the support we're getting, folks are asking how we do it. So it's really great for the state of Oregon to pitch in like this. And I also want to acknowledge Colin is here and he's actually paying attention to the speakers, but he and his team have done an excellent job working with Business Oregon, including McKenna and the engineering team for supplying the grant applications and so on. But it's just really nice to get that vote of confidence from the state, and we're moving forward to replenishing that levy grant fund so that we can continue to seek funding. So.
Well, I certainly appreciate your staff's efforts in that. This project was certainly giving me heartburn, and that's a whole ache for it anyway.
So nice to get the help from the state.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everyone.
Hello, Eric.
Well, hi. Had to load Zoom again. It was yet another package that they had for us. Good to see you, James.
Well, we went ahead and did the first agenda item, Eric, so that's where we are.
And that passed unanimously, no doubt?
It did.
Okay. And then let's, we're waiting on a couple of other nominations from Brian Tunstall at Columbia Edgewater. So why don't we move on to the landowner meeting follow-up on page 24? Wendy?
Oh, I thought I saw Kathy had her hand up, sorry, so.
Yeah, I was just curious how this normally works. How do we as board members get notice of board appointee recommendations? Is it usually just through the board packet? And since it's on a rolling basis, I mean, when do we actually make a vote?
Right, and so this is, again, we really don't have a huge amount of history in this. And I think that one of the things that we're looking forward to is when we bring this all together. I like the package that they've used in the past where there is somebody that has nominated that individual and they give a little bit of a CV, a curriculum vitae of that individual. I like to have it well in advance of it so that if there are questions or if you want to meet the individual, that we're able to do that. So what we'll do is we will get some additional recommendations of people that live within the Penn 2 boundary. And these would be people that would be put forward by Columbia Edgewater and as the largest landowner in the area. I think that it's important to have their input, and we would deal with this so that we get it in advance, and then probably at the next meeting of this group, that would be, Wendy, not in August, but in early September.
The next meeting would be the September format. That's September 26th. That's late
Okay.
September.
So that'll give us plenty of time to get to know the candidates. And with that,
And so, Eric, how would we get to know the candidates?
I'm sorry.
How would we get to know the candidates before the next
we
board
could
meeting?
do it in a number of venues. What I would like to do is have it more in the form of a Zoom call with them so that we can give them a briefing on what our role is, how we operate as a team, etc.
So it would be another board meeting because it would have a quorum.
Only if we have a quorum. Only if we have a quorum. But we could do it in a way in which it was a little bit more rolling or for people of interest. So it would not necessarily need all of the, if it were not a board meeting, and then we wouldn't have to do all the public notification.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And for us to get to know them, I think that we make it available to the interested parties and have people come in and get understand who they are and what their background is.
Can I make a comment? I certainly wouldn't need to be included in that replacement candidate interviews or anything like that. But if you could be, Eric, if you would drop me an email indicating that the Penn 2 is ready to go ahead with my replacement, then I'll issue a retirement or a resignation email.
Got it.
Okay, so let me know when you're ready, and I'll drop that email in.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So Eric, you'll just send a notice out to fellow board members when you've arranged something with each of the interested parties.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
so what I'm gonna need is their information. I'm gonna need to know, schedule that and do a public notice.
You won't need to do a public notice if this is just individual round robin meetings.
I will if there's more than 3 board members, or if there's 3 board members. That's
Right, but again, Wendy, the intent is to make it sort of a round robin, such that we wouldn't have 3 members in there at any given time.
And that can work. Just need to make sure you recognize that serial meetings can become an issue if you converse with one another outside of a notice.
We
meeting.
understand that. Yep.
Okay.
I think that that's an important part. So we would not have conversations that would indicate that that's leading to a decision.
Just a little bit of history, maybe, or statement, opinion. In the past, I mean, I was kind of surprised to see that we were going to vote on a person already, because there's been other candidates that have expressed interest in Penn 2 and the urban flood safety when that business position was open. And for a couple other reasons, they weren't available, but there was interest from Jubitz, from the Jubitz board, from FedEx, who are also large landowners. And so, and Eric and I both have contacts with Brian Tunstall at Columbia Edgewater. So I'd like to be able to honor those people's interest and at least offering them the opportunity to perhaps, maybe they're available now 4 or 5 months down the road. And with the urban district, Steve Fancher interviewed the people, and then, personal things got in the way of the 2 candidates that were interested. So I think it's to our benefit to include, so that we can get more people of diverse backgrounds interested in Penn 2, because as we go forward, the more people that have business or live here or large property owners, it's going to be important to include them so that they're able to represent us as well. And I don't know if Tom Collette remembers me at all, but when he was doing the Parks bond, he was like a superhero with Amanda Fritz, and she couldn't say enough good things about it. So this is not saying he wouldn't be a good candidate, but it's just giving the opportunity to the people that have expressed interest previously.
Yep. Okay. So with that, Wendy, you've got a memo to us on this, a follow-up to our board meeting that looked at getting one of our key objectives, which is to have quorum for our October meeting.
Alert from calendar. PEN2 board meeting.
It still thinks that it starts at 1:30, so alert from calendar. So one of the things that we will need to do with that is when we met, we're trying to achieve quorum at our October 24th meeting. We have that set up now for the Portland Yacht Club. We have a website that is set up to handle that. And I see that Wendy's got the link there. Wendy, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I wanted to actually speak on the previous topic, which was the application process. So once you have a candidate that's interested in the board, we'll need, I normally ask for a letter from the landowner and also just a bio for the board packet. So
Right.
I understand you'll do some additional meetings on top of that process.
Yep.
And I'm happy to answer any other questions for those candidates as well.
And I think I would add to that, just remember in terms of timing that the landowner meeting is going to be in October. And so then those seats will be up for election. So I guess I would make sure that it's you never know what could happen. It's sort of unlikely that there's a clamoring after you do all this work to try to recruit, but they will be up for their seat again. I mean, if we wait till September, like a month later. So I guess just don't let anyone be surprised by that or insulted that all of a sudden they have to turn around and run for the seat that we've been actively recruiting them for several months.
Well, okay, excellent. James, you have your hand up?
Great, thanks. Thank you, Eric. I just wanted to let people know why I'm here, which is obviously the city's interested in putting forward Tom Collette onto or for Penn 2 board's consideration as a board member, board supervisor. My role here would be just to introduce Tom, to speak to his qualifications as a city employee, and also, I guess, briefly outline the city's strategy for getting representation to and communication with the board. So if that's today or that's next month or the month after, just let us know. We want to make sure we're giving the board information.
Excellent. So we will have that at our September meeting. Very good. All right. So Wendy, any further updates on our process of getting to quorum?
Yeah, so just a couple of things since you met in June to talk about the annual meeting. The location has been approved and they are donating space for that meeting. So we'll just have to pay for any refreshments that we want to offer. And just to note that we did move that from the Thursday, so it might be on your calendars as the 26th, but we're moving that to the 24th, Tuesday, October 24th. And then I believe that Karen, you said that you're not available to attend on that day. Oh, I muted you, sorry. There was getting some background noise. I think it's from James's. Let's try and get Karen unmuted.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Oh, good. We are going to be in Athens. So I'm not going to even try to connect.
That's we'll all be envious, Karen. So, and then so that will be a hybrid meeting. So we'll have it in person at the Yacht Club, and then also it will also be on Zoom. So Emily and I will go out in the next couple of months and make sure that the setup is appropriate for an online meeting in addition to the in-person meeting. So I see Jim. I don't have any other things to add to my memo. I just really wanted everyone to put some eyes on that and make sure that was what your understanding of the follow-ups to that June meeting, what the board is going to do, what staff's going to do. I think that there's a lot more opportunity to sign up to contact landowners. So I've got that link in the spreadsheet, and feel free to sign yourself up. Or if that's hard for you, please just email me and I can support you with that. So I see Kathy's hand, but also Jim and Mary Helen. So
Go, Jim.
I just wanted to say we're providing some backup support to the SDIC board for their meeting and using some personal connections with Bonneville Power and Pacific Core and some others. So as the board looks at your list, if there are gaps in your relationships and you want some backup, do let us know. We will follow your lead, but we're happy to try and also wrestle the bushes to try and get people to turn out. If there are people that you don't have connection with, do share that with us at the appropriate time, and we'll do our best to go through the list and provide the backup support.
Thanks. I am happy to do some one-on-one outreach. I would just love fellow board members and staff's recommendations on priorities, because there are more folks there than can reasonably reach out to. And so I'm going to guess that based upon either landowner acreage or number of votes, that there would be some more important folks to try and reach out to than others. So if someone can give me, 10, I'm happy to do that outreach.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate that. Mary Helen?
I was just, Jim, I don't know which would be easier or harder, so you can choose which. If you think there's somebody in Penn 2 that you have a connection with, that been working with, etc., that might be helpful because I may not know about it. And there's it might be this would be a good person like Rod Iwata. I mean, I contact him infrequently, but you might be talking to Jubitz about other things or work in the area. And so that would be helpful too. Kind of save like back and forth emails that here's ones that we think are important to contact.
I'll take a look through the spreadsheet. I haven't done that yet, but I'll do that and then probably by the end of the week and send a note, Eric, to you and to Mary Helen and let you know. And then you can give me further direction if you want any additional follow-up. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Do you remember the woman, her first name was Pia, but she worked with FedEx for a long time as their like public information officer?
Not leaping out at me, but it might look at the list.
I think Corky knows her, so I'll ask him. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for the suggestion.
So the other, and Kathy, I'm happy if you want to just give me a call to go through that spreadsheet with you and I can add your name to it if that's helpful to you. I'll say also that I'm working with our IT support to make sure that online proxy process is really smooth and clear for people filling it out and that they have a clear message once the proxy goes through, that they'll have a copy of that makes sense. So
excellent. Is there any additional business before the board? Well, if not, then I would say that the Penn 2 board meeting is now adjourned. And that gives you a little bit of time to freshen up your drink or get a snack before the start of our main meeting.
feel free to stay on the Zoom call if you'd like.
I know Val wants to get on with his life and work on his health, but I'm glad that we have Val for another month or two. So he's trapped now.
We are hoping to, oh, go ahead, Val, sorry.
I just say I'll survive it. Your
Well,
company
I'll
is
just
the
note,
reward.
I'm excited. It appears we have multiple candidates because it's been a challenge to fill some of these slots. So that's a nice opportunity for you all. So
Yeah.
So I will say that I'm hoping that you will get the month of August off. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully no other pressing topics will come up.
all right, see you guys in 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Wendy, do you need me at the format?
Oh, I thought I messaged you, James. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Penn 1 does have the potential board president vote, but other than that,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
And I'm not a voting member anymore.
You
so-
are not a voting member. I took your name off the roll.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, I'll circle back with others to see if I can help make this introduction for Tom in September.
Great. Sounds like Eric's going to be coordinating the interviews. So
All right, I'll be on standby then.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, folks. Have a good day.
Hey, Wendy. Oh, you're
Yeah.
muted. I went ahead and just put myself next to about 10 or so of the folks that have a high number of votes. Most of them don't have any contact information except for their mailing address. And so I'm planning to try and track down phone, email, and contact folks that way. So I'll leave notes in the spreadsheet as to my success rate.
That's great. I can add a column. Do I have a column there for notes?
I can create one, it looks like.
That'd be great. I think some people are part of our contact list. So I can go in there after the meeting. Sometimes Aster will have contact information for people, and they have added a few of those numbers and emails to those folks. But if I'll look at the ones that you signed up for and see what we can do.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
There is that other sheet with the, oh, this is the wrong link.
Did I use the wrong sheet?
No, I think I have a wrong link on that second one. I'll send that out. But if you need to know a property address too, I can help look that up.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'll dig in. I'll do my Google work. Thanks.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, everyone. Just continue to wait for a few more board members to join us. And at least I'm getting a message from PJ needing to drop off at 2:30. So
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi there.
Hey, Kenzie.
For those of you who are just joining on the Penn 2 board, I'm in Seattle at the National Association of Flood and Stormwater Management Agencies conference, and we're not alone in the challenges that we face. So misery loves company. I just thought you might enjoy knowing that everybody needs more money and everybody's struggling with houselessness and federal regulations and so on. So good to be among friends.
I was just really happy to see you and Colin were attending that. I think there's just so much we can learn from peers across the country. So that's great.
Yeah, and they attract really senior leadership from the Corps and FEMA and NOAA and others. So it's a nice chance to say hello and try and get a word in about our projects. So, and you get snazzy name tags too. So
Well, and Jim sent us all a link to a video that now it escapes me who did it, but about what they did and flooding, and I think it's only what, like 2 or 3 minutes, the short version.
yeah, there's a shorter and a longer one about houselessness and flooding and flood risk.
And I found that I've been following him for quite some time just because I can't get out of my chair very much, but now I am. I'm not following so many things like that. But I would encourage all of you to look at that video, go back, Jim. I think it's somewhere where you can find it, but it's really interesting how they handled the project and how similar their issue was to ours. So
I'll find the links now and post it in the chat here.
okay.
And Tom Hansel is having to restart his computer. He'll be on in a minute. Just hold tight.
Yeah, and we had the opportunity to host 29 members of the U.S. Corps of Engineers senior staff down to PDX for a mass timber roof tour, and Colin got a chance to meet many of them, which was a great contact for him. So he's getting a double dose of some of the Corps folks.
It's like that saying, the more you tell them, the truer it becomes, right? So the more contacts, the more the name will register with them.
Well, unlike a lot of things in life, so much of this works on relationships. So here's a link to that houseless work. Y'all can check out at your leisure.